your master, the Mashiach Yahushua. They scorned him. They laughed at him. They did everything they can do to make him feel grief because of this word. So we going through the same thing.
Did Jesus' blood do anything?
Listen to me. Jesus' blood didn't do anything for everybody else.
Christian.
So I want him to get John 4:22 real quick. But you give me, I'm not sent but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
No, get Romans 3, verse 1.
John chapter 4, verse 22.
Listen to this.
We're in the book of John chapter 4, verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what.
A lot of y'all that love the Jesus, love the white man, you say Jesus.
That's not Jesus.
Right,
that's a Michelangelo faggot.
But this is not Jesus.
This is not Jesus.
So what? Where's Jesus? Who is Jesus?
Jesus, we don't know him. We don't have
lie.
pictures. We didn't have Instagram back then.
Okay, go drop that, go to Revelation. We're going to talk to you the book of the Bible.
He probably looked just like an Arab.
No, he didn't look like an Arab. He looked
Arab.
like a black man. That's why we
No.
Go straight to Revelation.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the seven candlesticks,
In the midst of all the churches in Asia Minor, all the churches around Israel, read.
one like unto the Son of Man.
One like who?
The Son of Man.
But listen before you talk, because you talking like you know.
I
and
do
you
know.
don't know nothing.
I know a
You don't
lot.
know. Then if you knew a lot, you would know that nobody but the Israelites are going to be saved through this thing. That's what
That's
you know.
right.
Okay, give me a
what you
verse
got.
that says no one
And
but
flow
the
with the
Israelites will be
garment
saved.
down to
He
the
said,
foot.
but all nations,
Flow with the garment and girded about the past.
Hold that, go back to John
all
4
nations
and
will be
22.
saved.
Go back to
all
John.
nations
Go
will
back
be
to John
blessed
the foot.
by
How?
the blood
How?
of Abraham.
That's a lie.
Well, you're talking about the
Read
Old
what you
Covenant
got.
then.
Go John.
You guys believe in the
No,
Old Testament.
We talking
I'm done.
about, we got
I'm
the
done.
whole Bible
Old
right here.
Testament. Old
This
Testament.
is John. This is John.
Old
Now, you hold
Testament.
your roll. You hold your roll. Read what you got.
Reading out the book of John.
John is the New Testament.
The New Testament
John
is the
is the
blood
New
of
Testament.
Jesus.
Read what you got.
Reading out the
blood
book of
of
John, chapter 4,
New Testament.
in verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what.
All y'all Muslims, white supremacists, all of y'all that worship Holy Mary, then you don't know what you worshiping out here. Islam, Jehovah Witness, there is no Jesus. Read the Bible.
Ye worship,
His name
ye
is
know not
Yahushua.
what.
You don't know what you worship
know.
when you calling on Jesus.
Emmanuel, he has a bunch of names.
No, but his name is, there was no J 2,000 years ago.
No, they called him something else. That's why the
They
Romans...
called him by his name. They called him by his name. His name is Yahushua, which means he that saves or salvation. Read.
Ye worship, ye know not
You
what.
don't know what you worshiping out here talking about Jesus with a J. Read.
We know what we worship.
We out here trying to deliver our people, nobody else. The white man is delivered in his kingdom right now. He's not going up from here no more. Read.
For salvation.
So what?
So, for salvation.
Say what?
For salvation.
Read.
It's of the Jews.
Salvation only belongs to the Israelites. Now you go to Romans 3:1 real quick.
Hold on.
Real quick. You go to Romans 3:1 real quick. Salvation is only of the blacks, West Indian, and the Puerto Ricans. And
They say that in the Bible. You cannot
Romans
pull
chapter
one
3,
verse
verse
in the
1.
Bible that says that.
Who?
You cannot
What
say
advantage
white
then
man,
hath
you
the
cannot say
Jew?
black man in the Bible.
Romans chapter 3, verse 1.
Thank you for your time.
These people are the ones that's going to be saved. You running with a scripture, you running and nobody chasing you.
There's not one verse you can tell me about white man,
No.
black man, Spanish man, West Indian. You can't say one thing.
Because you're emotional. Hold on.
I got scripture. Hold on.
This is cheap. We're all from Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve. Where they come from? Space? Aliens? We bleed the same blood. We got the same head. We as Paul.
Listen.
It's the same shit, bro. We are human beings. We're not monkeys. We're not gorillas.
Are you gonna listen?
He's not a an alien.
Are you gonna listen?
We're the same.
Yeah, you got
Adam
the
and
emotion.
Eve.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 19.
Hold on. Because you know better. I'm going to point to you because you think something. You know better. Because if we are the same human being, why the Constitution of so-called black and Hispanic
That's right.
has treat
That's
people
right.
as human beings? So you need to calm down and lose that woman mentality and be a man. What? The American Constitution, the 13th Amendment. Because that's what we under.
We're not even. We have nothing to do with the
Read what you
Declaration of
have to say.
Independence.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 19.
And 2001.
He shoved his word into Jacob.
Still stand. You understand me? So you all can team up all y'all want, but we know who we are.
I mean, we can talk.
You understand me? And your ancestors gonna pay, take up the slave sign.
Who's my answer? You don't even know what my answer.
It don't matter who they are. You all hide in the earth by different names.
It does because
Do you know who our ancestors are? Do you know where we come from?
No.
Because we call by your ancestors' names.
right.
It was your people who come here and gave us a name.
my people.
Yeah, who's
I
your
had my
people?
DNA tested. I know where I come
Listen,
from. You know where it says?
listen, man. We to hell with DNA
Skin
testing.
color is just a couple
To
of
hell-
generations
Oh.
from changing completely.
That wasn't work for us in the
Jesus
80s,
was not
right?
white. That's true.
That wasn't work. Skin color never worked for us in the 80s.
Right.
My brother.
But there's no
In the 60s, was skin color okay? So don't come to me with no DNA. After the white man come and steal us from Africa.
Look up the Lemba
Listen,
tribe.
the white man,
They're
the what?
black and they're Jews.
Who?
The Lemba tribe.
Because
in
your
Africa.
ancestors, because that is in Sierra Leone.
That's
The
their
Lemba
DNA.
tribe is in Sierra Leone,
The
right?
only thing that
But let
never
me tell you how
changed
you
is
end up
DNA.
there. Let me
Skin
tell you how you
color
end up
can
there.
change in 2 generations.
Let me
like
tell you how
that.
you end up to the Lemba tribe in Sierra Leone. Let me tell you how you end
They're
up
not
there.
in Sierra Leone.
Because the British owned them.
Sierra Leone
The
is on
British
the
was the
other
one who
side of
conquered
the-
those
of Africa.
countries. The British was the
speak
one who
French
conquered those
there.
countries. So that's why you end up with that DNA. But we read what you have. To hell with
you
this.
don't.
Psalms chapter 147, verse
You were an expert
19.
on DNA.
He shoved his
Don't
word
know
unto
so.
Read on.
He shoved his word unto Jacob.
So what the Most High said he do? He showed his word unto Jacob, which the white boy that was here is correct. The Bible don't teach about black and white. What the Bible teach about is nation, nationality. The Bible is a nationalist book.
Are you a doctor?
You understand me? Read on. Yeah,
His
for our
statue.
people.
PhD
That's,
DNA?
yeah, exactly.
No.
That's why we're teaching our people. We're
don't have
healing
no
them now.
DNA.
We are the only, you bunch of doctors are a bunch of witch.
Right?
So if you have to be a
I
PhD
don't
to
believe
poison
in
our
witches.
people,
I don't believe in witches.
so when you go to doctor and sick, what chemical they give you?
Listen.
What disease they give you? Y'all a bunch of witch if you believe in a doctor
no
with PhD.
witches.
We are the true doctors.
no witches.
Because what we're doing, we healing black and
Believe in
Hispanic people.
witches? You believe in witches or you
We
believe
see
in
you
the
every
Bible?
day. All the pharmacies,
What Bible
where
is
the
that
Walgreens
anyway?
is. Don't worry what is it.
Which
Don't,
Bible
it's
is
not for you. Don't worry about
that?
it.
You don't know
Read
that.
on.
His
Which Bible is
statutes
that?
and his judgments unto
You what?
Israel. His statutes
And in what?
and his judgments unto Israel.
Read on.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
The Most High have not dealt so with any nation.
Reading stuff.
So you see what you have to understand, my brother?
Translated 18,000 times.
We go through this because of punishment. Because you see this white man here, he don't believe in the Bible.
Listen, you're Israelites, right?
You understand me? He
You
don't
guys are
believe in the
Israelites,
Bible,
right?
but who teaches
How
us the
come you
Bible?
don't speak Hebrew?
Where we at?
How come you don't speak Hebrew?
Where we at? Where we at?
You lost everything, right?
And why we lost it?
I don't know.
Jeremiah 17:4. Why we lost it?
Because other Jews speak it.
But why we lost it?
Other Jews speak
No, I'm
Hebrew.
asking you. Why do we lost our
I don't know
nationality?
why you lost
Why we lost our language?
I don't
Why
know
we
why
lost
we lost
everything? Because your ancestors stole it.
That's right.
That's why we
Who
hide
was
it.
my
The
ancestors?
same bunch of white people who enslaved the blacks and
That's
native in America.
not true. That's not true.
They took everything from us.
No, I didn't
You
take
here.
nothing.
You're going to pay for it though.
Huh?
That's how good God is. You ain't take nothing, but you're going to pay for it. With
Pay
some
for it.
chains in a cotton field, you'll pay for it.
Listen,
read what you have,
that's not
man.
true.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4.
This is how we lose our language. Read on.
Not true.
And thou, even thyself,
How about all
shalt
the other
discontinue
Africans?
from thy heritage.
So what we do as a nation of people, we discontinue from our heritage.
Sound like you're
If you
Jamaican,
notice,
right? You're
if you
Jamaican,
notice,
right?
I'm a slave that was brought to Jamaica.
Okay.
That's
I'm
right.
not Jamaican.
Okay, what about
I'm an Hebrew
what about
Israelite
all
from the tribe
other
of Benjamin.
Africans? Were they never left? Were they slaves?
Some of them were.
Which never left?
Some of them were.
Well, there's
they were
a lot
enslaved
of-
by Islam
there's been
over
a lot
there.
of people
It's two
throughout history
entities
who were
enslaved our people.
enslaved.
It was
A lot of
Islam
people.
enslaved our brothers that
A
was in the
lot of
African
people were enslaved
continent,
throughout
and the
history.
one who come over here was
A
enslaved by
lot of people
Christianity.
were enslaved in history.
And,
A lot of people.
and I know.
A lot of people.
You was once a slave too.
We're all slaves.
You
in
was
some
once a
form
slave
or
too.
manner.
But guess what?
know.
Get that Daniel 2:44. Guess what? you're going to be the last slave on this earth.
That's right.
Because your ancestors, your people destroyed this earth,
you don't
and you're
know
going
my
to fix it back.
ancestors were.
I know who you are.
No, you don't.
I
Who
told
am
you we know the
am I?
devil, Satan.
Who am I?
Satan, Shatan.
No.
You're Satan from hell. That's who you are. Read what you have.
Oh, they say.
Well, book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 44.
He's just babbling. Read
And in the days, Daniel 2:44, and in the days of these, kings shall be the Most High of heaven, set up a kingdom.
Hold on. What the sister tell him?
Everybody has the right to preach.
Tell him, sister, tell him.
Well, everybody has also an opinion, right?
If they did this to Jewish people, you would have an easy round about it. Let them know.
Read what you have.
And in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed.
So our kingdom might never be destroyed. Read on.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
So scripture said the kingdom shall not be left over the Bible. You understand me? Sis.
They come from the Holy Coast of Ghana. What happened there? They came down to America. And no colonizers did that. Colonizers, European people.
That's not my people. You don't know who my people are.
No, your people is Satan, brother. Slave master. That's what we know who you are.
Do you know where you're
So
from?
hold on.
Where are you from?
Sis, hold on. I'm going to answer. Who are your people?
Where are you from?
Who are your people?
You should know your people.
I'm going to answer. Your what?
Bring it on.
Take it up. Take it up.
I know what you're going to say already. You see, I'm ready for all.
Yeah, you're ready for all of
Ready
us.
for all of you.
Bring it on. Make no sense.
Bring it on.
So listen. Sis.
I know they are. There's Jews of every creed and color.
Sis.
But what they're going to say
Let
is
me
that
deal with
the
this. Because there's no
Ashkenazi
Jews.
Jews aren't the
Because there's
real
nobody
Jews.
named Jews
Isn't
on
that
the
right?
earth.
I'm ready for
So there's
it.
no black
So be
Jews.
careful.
No, we ain't no black to be careful or nothing. This is who you are.
I'm ready.
That's why we say we know your word.
I'm ready for
Those
you.
are Europeans
You understand
who
me?
came to Israel. You know what they did? You know who was there before you Palestinians?
That's not funny.
They took Palestinians.
That's who you are.
put them on the Gaza
You know why it's
Strip. That's
called
exactly what goes on. Palestine, you know why they call it Israel now? Palestine isn't even on the map. You guys
You know
took
what?
that shit.
Sis.
Because the Philistines.
You guys took that shit from them like y'all take everything and you put a name on it.
Sis.
Go read some books.
So this white boy says Jewish, right?
Leave them alone.
Hell no.
Peacefully.
Could you prove to the audience? I'm giving you a chance.
Okay, go ahead. Bring it on.
Prove to them how you be Jewish.
Huh?
Prove to them how you become
By
Jewish.
DNA.
By DNA.
Yeah.
Could you prove that through the Torah?
Through the Torah?
Does the
I can
Torah
prove what
say?
tribe I'm from.
You can't prove
How about you? Can you?
I can prove everything we
think
say.
so.
You understand me? Because could you how you become Jewish? Where is that from?
Historically, throughout generations,
Take it
they
up.
started in the Middle
Take
East.
it up.
How did you become Jewish?
It's a heritage.
Oh,
We're
well,
born
there
this
you
week.
go then. It's a
We're
heritage.
born this week.
It's a heritage.
When I read the book of Deuteronomy 28:68.
Let me ask you a
No,
question.
you asked my question.
Let me
answer.
ask you a
All right,
question.
go ahead.
Okay, let's say, well, which I know you never would, married a white girl, right? Which I know you never would, but that's besides the point. And you had 2 children. You had a son and a daughter, right? What color are those kids gonna likely be?
If who marry who?
Likely.
Me?
No, what? If you married a white girl, you had 2 kids. Doesn't matter if they're boy or girl. What color are they most likely gonna come out as?
They'll have a little pigment.
Okay. Now, the one daughter marries a black guy, and the other daughter marries a white guy, right? The white guy, the one with both the same color, one married a white guy. What color are those kids gonna most likely come out?
Should have a little pigment.
A little bit, but less, right?
Yeah.
Now, the one that married a black guy, are they gonna have a little bit more pigment?
Should.
Are they both from the same heritage?
No.
All right. That's right. All right.
No, because you said
You
this-
said
no, listen.
you are your father before, right?
Listen.
You said you are your father.
But
Did
listen.
you not say that?
But you're not understand. I listened
it's
to
the
it.
same
Didn't
thing.
I listen to him?
Yeah, we listened.
I listened to you.
All right,
So
go
the
ahead.
question you posed to me,
Yeah.
brother and sister.
So they're not
Listen,
the same
you have to
heritage.
listen. You have to listen. You have to listen.
All right, I want you
Listen.
to prove this to me.
I'm gonna prove it simple, but you have to listen.
go ahead.
You say for brother and sister, if I have married a white woman, which I will never be,
All right,
Right?
Besides the point.
and I have a boy and a girl,
Yeah.
the boy married a white woman,
The boy married a white woman, yeah.
and the girl married a
Black guy.
black guy.
Yeah.
You said what the children would be.
Yes.
So remember, by our tradition and by Torah, the father is a progenitor for the seed.
That's right. That's right.
So let me finish.
Yes, go ahead.
I never said
I'm
nothing when
I'm
you're
agreeing
talking.
with you.
I'm
agreeing with
actually respecting your conversation.
I have respect
right?
for you too.
The girl now, who you say married a black man, right?
Yeah.
If that black man is of a Hebrew lineage, those children would be Israelites too.
That's right.
Listen, let me finish. Only way that would go off if my daughter become now and my daughter married somebody from the next nation. Those children would be for that nation.
Right.
Not for my nation.
Okay, what they say is that
They who?
through the father is the tribe,
That's what the Bible said.
but the mother has to be Jewish for them to be Jewish.
Where you find that?
Huh?
Where you find that?
That's in the Bible.
That's not there in the Bible. Because Jacob married Rachel and Leah. They were Syrians.
That's
The
right.
progenitor for the 12 tribe of the nation of Israel. Take up the tribe back. Take up the tribe back. The 12 sons came through. who?
Okay, look. Judah, Ben, where's Ben? Benjamin and Levi.
Yeah.
They all survived. Where did all the 10 missing tribes?
The 10 missing tribe. Why? They're not missing to us.
Where'd they go?
And you ask a good
And
question.
prove it.
I'm gonna
And prove it.
get me the back in the apocrypha. Where they travel.
I got a
13.
Yeah.
Second Ezra 16.
You be jumping from stage to stage.
What book is that?
Listen, you be jumping. Make me finish dealing with the nationality. Then we're going to prove this. Can you be jumping all over the place?
Go ahead.
You shy, watch your steps. My car across the street. So what I'm saying to you is, the father is a progenitor of the genes. I know some of you Jewish, you go by the mother. Listen, we don't deal with DNA.
Genetics.
The Most High never touch. Listen, you going to take us from Africa? Where's the slave trade? Your people come because the Jewish was the one who introduced the slave ship.
Right.
No, let me finish, man. Now listen to you. When the cargo slave ship came here, it was insured by Jewish people.
Right.
So you come in Africa, take us out of Africa, you know exactly what y'all was doing. You understand me? Because it was in 12.
What year was that?
In the 16th. Slavery started from the 1400s.
That's right. Okay.
Start from the Portugal.
All right.
From the Portuguese.
The Jews, in fact, paid a lot of people because everybody borrowed money from the Jews. They didn't
I said let me finish.
finance it. They
let me
borrowed
finish.
money from
Let me
them.
finish.
That's what they did.
So you agree that Jews are part in slavery?
I
No,
don't
you
know
agree.
that's a
Do you
fact.
agree?
Like, well,
No,
I
you
don't know
just
that-
said they pay a lot of money, but no, you don't know by fact.
Well, let
Do
me-
you
let-
agree?
I will say this. I know that they were moneylenders because Christians
Jews-
weren't allowed to lend money.
So the Jews lent money for
all
slavery?
the Jews lent money.
For slavery, for this,
For anything
massacre.
to make money.
Okay, so for anything.
Anything to make
You're
money.
correct, you're correct.
That's the only job
You're
they're
correct.
allowed to do.
You're correct, but let's finish this. So you people come, you lend money to the
that's what
British, the Romans, the Christians.
Anybody who wanted money.
You lend money to them.
Probably the
They come in
Egyptians
Africa. They round us up in Africa, right? They bring us to the so-called New World. Enslave us. 19 September coming is 400 years.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden, 2 years ago, you create Ancestors.com to tell us where Africa you steal us from.
Well, who paid for the Holocaust?
You understand
It
me?
weren't the Jews.
There was no Holocaust, brother. This is the real Holocaust.
That's right.
So
That
next
was
thing is
one Holocaust.
next thing.
One.
This is the greatest Holocaust
There's not
because
the
this
only
Holocaust
one
was with God people.
but
They can video.
It was a Holocaust.
This
I'll give you
Holocaust
that.
was with God
I'll give you
people.
that.
There was
It's
no
not the only
Holocaust
one.
with you.
Not the
Because
only
you see, you white people are so damn privileged. Couple white country in Europe fighting and you said the
white
World War.
privilege?
Where was we fighting? Were we fighting?
Hell
Couple
no.
white people in Europe fighting and all of a
Explain
sudden
to
it
me
was
how
World
I'm
War.
privileged.
You understand me? So y'all just have this white privilege.
Explain to me why
You understand
I
me?
am
But
privileged.
why you have in the apocrypha for me?
Go ahead, read it.
The 10 tribes.
Second Ezra, chapter 13, verse
Listen to
39.
this. Second Ezra what?
I'm listening.
Chapter 13, verse 39.
Read on.
And whereas thou sawest that he gathered a number peaceable multitude unto him.
Cliff
Those are the 10 tribes.
Those what?
Those are the 10
So
tribes.
now you ask for the 10 missing tribes.
I
We're
know
gonna
what they
tell
are.
you. You don't know where they are.
I do know
because
what they
nothing in
are.
Israel y'all don't
Nobody
know
knows
where
where they are.
But I'm gonna tell you where they are.
Nobody knows.
You don't know nothing.
All right.
No, you're going to listen to
I
the
will
scripture
prove you
finish.
wrong.
Then when the scripture finish, you prove me
Dominicans
wrong.
of the
When the
tribe of
scripture
Simeon,
you prove me wrong.
They're a mixed culture. So
The whole nation, tribe over here are mixed culture. Just like in America, you have Judah, Benjamin, and
North
Levi.
American
You
Indians
just
came
say,
from Russia. They
What?
came across
What?
the Bering Strait.
Listen,
They got the
read right
same
now.
DNA.
Which were
everything
carried
about
away
them in the United
prisoners
States.
out of their
Same
own land
DNA.
in the time of Hosea the king.
Read
Check
on.
it out yourself.
Wolves,
Facts.
Psalm of Nazar.
So what I know, why would I believe you when you just admit to me that
I
Jewish
just
people
said
fund
you can
slavery?
check it out for yourself. and
Could I
check the
believe the
fact
same man who
finder.
fund slavery? You're going to believe him
Check
to
the
tell you
Hell no.
he admits that Jewish people fund slavery, and we're going to
I
expect
didn't
for you
admit that
to
they
tell you about
formed
black
it.
history?
I admitted
Listen,
that they
brothers.
lent money.
Listen.
Like
let me tell you
everything
this.
else.
Let me tell you this. You talk
I
about
didn't admit
Simeon
that.
being Dominican.
I didn't.
78% of Dominican today are Taínos.
That's right.
And the only mix they mix is when your
So,
people go
they're
there
not all
and rape and
true
rob and kill them.
Bring it out.
You understand me? They're the
If they're
authentic
mixed,
from
they
the
ain't
tribe of
true
Simeon.
Simeon, alright?
They are the
let's
authentic,
have a
the
look.
native people in that land are from the tribe of Simeon.
Samuel, the Argentinians to the Chileans. What is an Argentinian?
The native people that was in that
The
land.
natives. So they're not all Argentinians.
No, because you people
Because
go there,
they're
you
a
people
mixed
settle there.
culture.
Because you people go there. Just like in Jamaica, you
A
have
lot of
mixed
people
culture.
went there.
You have Chinese, you have everybody there. Look
That's
at Africa.
right.
Look in the land of Israel today.
A lot of people traveled throughout the earth.
Exactly,
over
but that's why we
time.
said the native people in those lands,
That's what I'm
we are the
trying to
true
say.
biblical Jews according to the
That's
Bible.
right.
That's
All of
right.
it's
That's what I'm
so vain. It can disappear
understand me?
in a generation or two. That
Disappear,
means nothing.
we stand
It
forever.
means nothing.
That's why we can speak to you like how we speak to you
You
now.
check out the Lemba tribe.
We stand
Anybody
forever.
on cell
We check
phone,
about the
check
Lemba
out
tribe.
Lemba tribe.
But you're not from the Lemba tribe.
They're related
Because
to me.
you, by what? You was the
DNA.
slave master.
DNA.
You was the slave
I
master.
was no slave
You was the
master.
slave master. Somebody in your family was. Yes.
No, they was not.
You,
We
even
were
like you and a couple slaves, right?
We were
That's
slaves.
right.
You look like
We
you and
were
a couple
slaves.
slaves, right?
We were enslaved many times.
By who?
By the Egyptians. By,
It was-
by Nebuchadnezzar. Oh, I got a point here. You were saying that Jesus was black, right? I don't believe he was white. I do believe he was dark-skinned. And if you look at the Egyptian cave paintings that were painted by the Egyptians, it shows you the Hebrews. It shows you. Anybody here with a cell phone, you can pick that up and fact find me right now. Go ahead. And what you're saying, the Egyptians didn't paint that now, right?
No, listen. I know.
It's the-
I know
it's the
Christ was.
darker
I know
people
Christ
from
was
the-
dark skinned.
from the Sudan.
But let me ask you this. No, not from no damn
They
Sudan.
was
What
from
wrong
the
with you?
Sudan.
Listen this. Listen. Because you'll be contradicting yourself. You'll be
Now
messing
I'm
up
not
yourself.
contradicting
You understand me?
anything. Anybody with a
drunk?
cell phone, you can.
Because what we saying
Look
to you
at
is,
that right now.
all right. So let me ask you this question.
Find it right.
You
now.
admit Christ was a black man, right?
I admit he wasn't white.
Okay. So was he dark
It was
skinned?
impossible for him to be white
So okay.
at the time.
So if Christ was impossible to be white,
Yes.
who are these people in the land?
Who?
These people in the land.
Okay, these people, if you look at the diaspora of the Jewish people throughout history, they went from the Middle East, some of them came from Babylon, and they dispersed throughout the land. They intermingled with white women. If you look at a Sephardic Jew, they're darker, and they were on the Iberian
I never
coast.
want to go there, but take it
They
up.
were on the Iberian
Babylon,
Peninsula. There was even Chinese Jews and black Jews.
Listen, my
Whoopi
brothers and
Goldberg
sisters,
is a black Jew, isn't she?
don't be deceived. Let me tell you something.
Look, you can
70
fact find
AD,
it. Fact
70
find it.
AD. Who have the Babylon
No
to
matter what
Timbuktu?
your color is, you don't have to be a color to be
70
Jewish
AD,
or
the Romans
from
came in and
the tribe
destroyed
of Israel.
Jerusalem.
It's got
We
nothing
flee
to
to
do with
Africa
it.
as a nation of people.
Nothing to do with it.
Right? Who have the Babylon to Timbuktu?
Check it out for yourself.
Right? So I'm going to show you the history how we reach to Africa. You understand me? Because this is the biggest mystery on the planet Earth. Who are the real children of God?
Africa is a big
You
continent.
understand me? It's the biggest mystery. And you people be getting benefit from us for years. Our
Right.
tax money be funding those bastards in Israel
Right.
for years. And now we have a Jewish boy stand up here and admit that Christ is a so-called black man. Because if you was enslaved in Egypt, you have to be black.
There was no Europeans
From Moses,
in Israel at that
from
time,
Moses
apart from the
to be
Greeks.
called Pharaoh's son, Moses have to be of what? Black color.
That's right.
Right? You understand me? So you
It was
cannot,
dark. I agree with that.
so you cannot go around that. So we are the black Jews in Israel today. And how you people treat. Have you ever been to Israel, by the way?
No. Have you?
You asked the wrong question.
Yes, wrong. Just keep back.
So what does that
Jewish boy
mean?
never
Just
went
came
to
Took
Israel.
a tour on a bus through Israel. What's that
Tour
mean?
on a bus.
Nothing.
A Jewish boy never been to Israel.
You went to
People
went to
just don't
you went to the Wailing Wall. All right,
right?
you took a picture. All right.
So read what you have, my brother. Which one? 65? You don't even worry to talk. Labra, who next?
All right, this is from Babylon to Timbuktu. I got it. In the year 60.
Reading there?
No.
You been to Babylon?
Huh? Read this.
Oh, probably not. They probably
Babylon.
Read way out.
Reading out the book of From Babylon to Timbuktu.
Read on.
Page 84. In the year 65
it's that guy.
BC,
Yeah.
the Roman armies under General Pompey
See the guy that wrote the book?
Roman army under General Pompey. Read on.
captured Jerusalem.
So put Jerusalem under siege. Right? These white boys be looking red. They angry boy. Esau just mad. You see Esau walking red, right? He turned red. He hear about General Pompey that trigger something in your blood. Y'all exciting, right? But come up, you might put to sleep.
I didn't go red myself.
No, just make it still, bro. It don't matter what he says.
Listen,
cover that
I'm
book.
out.
No, you have to listen to this.
Go ahead.
Listen to this. Listen to this. Read what you have.
From Babylon to Timbuktu.
Read on.
Page 84. In the year 65 BC,
Read.
the Roman armies under General Pompey
Read on.
captured Jerusalem.
So the Roman army and the General Pompey captured Jerusalem. Right? Read on.
In 70 AD,
Titus.
General Vespasian and his son Titus
Read.
put an end to the Jewish state.
So they put a hand to the Israelite state, which they took down Masada. That was the last city in Israel.
That's right.
Masada, that's already history.
And they destroyed the temple.
You understand me? Masada they destroyed the temple in 70 AD. 73 AD they destroyed Masada. Period. That's our last soul. Which our people was there. The Zealots, the Zakari. They were there fighting for us. That's a bunch of black people. The Zealots. Right? Read on.
With great slaughter.
With what?
With great slaughter.
Read on.
During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrageous and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
So many atrocity was just like what they do in slavery over here. Many of that compare up to us in that land. Because Israel today is in Northeast Africa, not Europe. They wanted to believe it's Asia Minor, but there's nothing on this earth named Asia Minor. Israel today is in Northeast Africa. You can read the scripture in Deuteronomy 11 chapter. It said our border is from the river Nile to the Euphrates.
That's right.
That's run between Ethiopia to Kenya. All those regions is Israel today. Read on.
During the period from Pompey to Julius,
Read.
it has been estimated.
It's at what?
It has been estimated
Read on.
that over 1 million Jews,
Over what?
over 1 million Jews
Read.
fled into Africa.
Fled to where?
Fled into Africa.
See where we run to, sis? So in slavery, when the white man tell us that blacks sell blacks into slavery, what he should have told us, black Africans sell black Hebrews into slavery. Just like in Israel, we was black, in Egypt we was black Hebrew under the black African rulership of the pharaohs. So that's what they should have told us. Because 70 AD we run from our land to West Africa to mix amongst them. But what they did, they group up, come against us, and now we end up in America.
Right.
See an African and said nigga. He going to tell you he's not no nigga, because
That's
nigga
right.
to slave.
They're
not slave. The Africans are not slave. We are slave.
Khan.
Read on.
During the period from Pompey to Julius,
Read.
it has been estimated that over
ready for
1
slavery.
million Jews fled into Africa.
Fled where?
Fled into Africa.
Read on.
Fleeing from Roman persecution.
So it's not today black people running from white people. Black people were running from white people from 70 AD.
That's right.
Not today only. Read on.
Fleeing from Roman persecution
Read.
and slavery.
Read.
The slave markets were full.
The slave market was what?
The slave markets were full
Read on.
of black Jewish slaves.
Of black what?
Of black Jewish slaves.
So the slave market was full
Destroyed, bro.
with black Jewish slaves.
People are
And when I say the word Jews, it just means Judites. That's what the slave market was full with. You people. So that's why it's very important for you two young dams up there to come back to your life.
That's
Come
right.
back to your nationality. Come back to your heritage. You see the white Jewish man stand there and say their people found slavery. These people ain't love us.
Right.
Guy talking about Hebrew, you don't know what we sit and hear. He asks if we ever been to Israel. He don't know what we do here.
God.
We don't have nothing to prove to him. You go to Israel, you see what real racism is.
Right.
You go to Israel, you see how jealous they be for you just to come back and visit your land. I couldn't talk to a Jews that never been to Israel. The conversation ain't gonna be the same. Read on that. You finish up?
That's pretty much it.
Read back this.
This prophecy
Read.
and all the residue of the prophecy
Read.
contained in Deuteronomy.
So everything you find in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, verse 68, that the children of Israel was going to be like this. And you have to remember, when Christ was on the earth, Christ only had 12 men beside him. So this ain't going to be like what this Christian church are. Because first thing what they do, if same man who enslaved you teach you about a God.
That's right.
And I bet you any money, ask any of these white people if they believe in Christ. Ask any of these white people, do you believe in Jesus? They won't tell you no. So we pray to the God, we believe in Christ. We believe in the Most High. But I'm saying they don't. No, we're nationalists. We never religion. We have to come back to, this is nationality and heritage. We believe in the Most High. His name is Yahweh, who the world called Jehovah. We call him by his Hebrew name, is Yahweh. We believe in Christ, who the world called Jesus Christ. We call him Yahushai. Huh?
What text do you read and study on?
The King James Version. Somebody give the sister a Bible. No different Bible. No different Bible, sis. Get Solomon 1 verse 5.
Oh yeah.
I'm giving you the option. No, not you, the sister. Get Solomon 1 verse 5. Help somebody help her find the book of Solomon, you want me to?
Yeah, help me.
Help her find it. No, we're bringing you back to your life and your heritage. You see, you cannot find the scripture? No, that's what man of the Lord should do. Teach her for you to find life. Because you see how the world running. God bring you all here for a reason. And you have to know the reason why God bring you all here. Nothing is by coincidence. When I get the truth in the 90s in Jamaica, it was brothers teaching on the street. I was coming from school and I see them and I say, what? And I stop and I'm here. No, all these brothers have the same testimony. You understand me? And we have the sisters that back at the school, the children that back at the school, while we come on this place and we do what we do. Solomon 1 verse 5. Read it.
I am black.
I am what?
Black.
So what color was Solomon?
Black.
So look at the Bible, we never write it. Just a normal Holy Bible, right? Ah, where you buy this? In Walgreens? I think you might buy this in Walgreens. I have one.
CVS too. You can go.
So read that again. Read what Solomon said.
I am black.
Read.
I am black.
No, son.
You know what the word comely mean? Handsome. So guess what? Solomon look like me. He black and cute. Help her find Job 30 verse 30. I'm teaching you something today. Because our life is in that, but we allow the slave master to teach us our history. That's where we go wrong. Black History Month, who they have showing on TV? Oprah.
Right.
They tell you in History Month, when I go history class, they tell you about Marco Polo and all this rest of sodomite.
That's right.
We're going to teach a real history about King Solomon.
Right.
We're going to teach you something.
My phones are burned with keys.
So Job tell you he was a black man. Somebody help her find Jeremiah 8:21 now. And we're going to go straight to the New Testament to see what color Christ was. Because a nation of people, we don't read. When last you read the Bible? Do you have a Bible home? Do you read it? So now we have to take up that and read it, right? Right, sis?
That's right.
Where y'all from?
North Carolina.
Not currently, y'all down south, so we see the different spirit. No, you're going back down south with a different spirit.
I'm from New York.
Yeah, but you moved down there, so you adapt their style down there. Like New York is mini Sodom. Jeremiah 8:21. New York is like a mini Sodom. Like,
The hurt of the daughter of my people am I hurt.
Really?
I am black.
What color was Jeremiah?
Black.
What color was he?
Black.
Okay, read on.
Astonishment hath taken hold.
Spell
on
the
me.
black where you see. Can you back? Spell the black that you see.
Spell black?
Yeah, what you see in the Bible.
B-L-A-C-K.
So it's not nothing else. It's dealing with color. Get me Jeremiah Revelation now. Make you see it for yourself. The Bible said prove all things. Because he said, oh we go and judge DNA, we're not a doctor, we don't have PhD. We have something great on PhD. We can give you life. But the doctor go and put you on his medication to give a side effect. You ever see them tell about side effect will make a commit suicide? What?
Like pharmaceuticals, like stuff like that?
I believe in herbs.
Herbs, yeah. That's what I
I believe in herbs.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
Read what you have, Revelation 1:13.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks,
Read.
one like unto the Son of Man.
So know what you're reading. John said, read verse 10. Revelation 1 verse 10. You get a bit of
I was in the spirit of the Lord's day.
So
and
John
heard-
said was in the spirit on the Lord's day. When is the Lord's day? Today is the Holy Sabbath. So John said was in the spirit on the Lord's day. Read.
and heard behind me a great voice.
So if you hear a voice behind you, what you gonna do? Turn and look. So John now in the spirit of the Lord, they hear a voice. Read on.
as of a trumpet.
So Christ thought low. That's why Christ could be able to be at the ship teaching 5,000 people. Christ thought like a man, a lion. He's a conquering lion of the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
Read on.
saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the
Meaning
first and the
Alpha
last.
is the first letter in the Greek language. Alpha is A, Omega is Z. So what he was saying, I'm the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Jump to verse 13. Remember, he's turned to look.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
So when he turned to look, he see the menorah, the 7 candlestick. What of the menorah? But it was a bigger one to this. So he's standing, so he's only look in the midst of it, he see who? The Son of Man. Read on.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
So Christ have on a garment down to the foot, like how we dress. This is our ancient dress code. Read on.
And girt about the paps with a golden
So
girdle.
around Christ's waist, Christ have on a golden girdle. Now remember now, this is the Son of God they're talking about. When he born as a child, what was the gift? Frankincense, myrrh, and gold. So don't watch those like a show that show you this like a white boy on TV. I want to whip his ass too. In some dirty ass clothes. So Christ have on a garment down to his feet and girdle around the waist with a golden girdle. Read on.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So first thing, he said the hair on Christ's head. Take up this. He said the hair on Christ's head was white like wool. Is this boy have woolly hair? First thing.
No.
Does he have white hair?
No.
You know what woolly hair is? This is it. Woolly hair. Sheep hair. You understand me? So the scripture said the hair on Christ's head white like wool. So first thing, 2 strike, he don't have woolly hair and he don't gray. You see like how the hell the beard gray? Because a lot of people say at age 33 Christ was full gray, but that's not true. At this point, Christ would be almost 70. Because remember in Leave, 33 he died, and he see them in the vision like 27 years later. So he appear back to them in that vision like how he normally would be. Right? Read on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
So the scripture says Christ's eye was red. Which people have red eye? When your father hungry, how your father look? Or if a black man smoke, how he look? If a man drink, how he look?
We get high, eyes red.
You have blue eyes. You ever see Lassie? You ever see, remember the show as a child, Lassie? We're breaking down Lassie here. Right? Read on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
So the scripture said Christ's feet was like unto fine brass. So you know your feet is your foot. So every foot have a color. What color is brass? But he said fine brass. Brass is like a dark green, dark brownish color. So he said Christ's feet was like fine brass. Read on.
As if they were burned in a furnace.
So Christ was so dark, he looked like he was burned in a furnace. As white as rice is, if you burn rice, what color it is? Get Deuteronomy 28:68. Somebody help her. The Bible says prove all things. I'm showing you life. This is salvation. You might see us here, and you see us here, you wondering like what these black men do. You know, I'm nothing to do. I'm still tired. I'm still jet lagged. Right?
Deuteronomy what?
I still want to sleep.
Deuteronomy what?
28:68.
Okay. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So first, he said the Lord shall bring us into Egypt. The word Egypt is a Greek word that means bondage. Remember the first time Jacob went into Egypt, he walked there. But the second time, the Most High said, "Go and bring us into a second bondage and carnal slaves." Not only fulfill and one and this man. You, me. Read on.
Again with ships, by the way, whereof I spake unto thee.
Read on.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
What
and
we shall not see no more again? Our land, prosperity. We shall never see it again. Because when they put us on the slave ship, you have to understand they take everything from us. No, she in the audience. She in the audience.
Good?
Yeah, because she in pants. You might change your pants too? You understand me? She in the audience. So now, sis, you understand? So the Most High saying, going to bring us into Egypt a ship. And the whereof we shall not see it no more. Right? Read on.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Who shall be sold to?
Bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
He said we shall be sold.
To our enemies.
And no, he's our friend. The white man is our friend. He's good white people. They're good white people. But God said we shall be sold unto our enemies. Auction block. Who was buying us? Enemies. And nobody come and tell me not more no good white people. In the 1800s, every White House in America have a nigger on it.
That's right.
Where was the good white people demonstrating we don't need no nigger? Don't stop with no nigger. Where was those good white people? They was not to be found. So if they weren't good then, how could their children be good now? So now the Most High said was going to sell unto our enemy for slave man and slave woman. Read on.
These are the words.
No, finish up. And he said, no man shall buy you.
Oh yeah. And no man shall buy you.
Meaning nobody shall deliver us. Every black man who stand up for black people, where are they? Who killed them?
The government.
Come on.
And the black people, you think we don't mark for that here? They call us, they want to put every kind of ban on us. But we are the original terrorists of this earth. Because Christ was a terrorist.
That's
Christ
right.
testified of this earth. And we are children of Christ.
Right.
That's why when Christ get that, St. John 7:7.
We're in the book of St. John, chapter 7, verse 7.
Read on.
The world cannot hate you.
Listen this, sis. You hear this? Read it from the top again.
John chapter 7, verse 7.
Read on.
The world cannot hate you.
Read on.
But me, it hated.
So the world cannot hate us, but the world hate Christ.
That's
Why
right.
do the world hate Christ?
Because I testify of it,
Why?
that the works thereof are evil.
And what's the works in the world that are evil? We cannot allow with man marrying man.
Homosexuality.
We're not going to allow for our children to be faggots and lesbians.
Right?
We're not going to allow for a woman to be whores.
That's right.
That's right.
We're not going to allow for a man to be young, sagging their pants, being whoremongers, abusive to women, children. We're not going to allow that.
Right.
So we're going to come out and tell our people, if you're in homosexuality, it's wrong. If you're in lesbianism, it's wrong. If you're murdering your brother, it's wrong. If you're in gang banging, it's wrong. So we're going to come out and testify about this, all the things what the world want to happen. Because you don't think the white man want black people to kill black people just to send them to prison?
Come on.
The white man want black people to act up just to send them to prison. And guess what? These white people, they're mad way out here. Just look at these crackers' face. Bunch of faggots, they're mad way out here. Yeah, you're mad, right, you devil? He's Jewish too, I can just smell him. Rats. They're mad way out here, defending black people. They're mad way out here telling black man to liberate yourself.
That's right.
They're mad way out here telling black people to have confidence. Talk to him like the slave master he is. They're mad and they're sorry for that. You understand me? So that's why now we are the only prophet on the planet Earth. The Israelites camp in the four corners of this earth teaching these scriptures today. Right? You have a question, mommy? Give the sister flyers. Right? What's that say? Read on.
Yeah. Go ye up into this feast. I go not up yet.
Jump to verse 15.
Right. We're Brother John, chapter 7, verse 15.
Read on.
Now about the midst of the feast, Christ went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled, saying, how knoweth this man letters, having never learned?
So you see, sis, so you understand what we're about. You understand what this is about. So you have to come part to be part of Christ's army. That's right. It plays for sisters. It plays for brothers. Because you all don't know judgment coming to this earth, right? Y'all don't know God going to destroy America, right? Or you don't, you hear about it, or you just don't believe it. So for the destruction of America, what is your plan? Get me Psalms 91. Get me Psalms 91. Because if America going to be destroyed, all black people going to survive. Because the white man definitely can't survive. He tell you that in all the movie that they do. You understand me? The black man in America, when Christ come back on this earth and then the missiles start drop, the meteorites start drop, there's no way white people in America are going to make it.
Right.
Not one of them. Right? Psalms 91 verse 1. Read on.
Alright, we're in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 1.
Read.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High Yahweh shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Stop and read it from the top again. Listen.
He, Psalms 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
So what's the secret place of God? The laws, the statutes, the commandments. So when you dwell under that, the Most High is going to protect you. Right? Read on.
I will say of the Most High, He is my refuge.
He's what?
He is my refuge.
The Most High is our refuge. Read.
And my fortress.
Read.
My power. In Him will I trust.
So we have to make the Most High to be our refuge, our fortress. And Him, the Most High, we shall trust. Read on.
Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler.
But surely the Most High will deliver us from the snare of the fowler. Read on.
And from the noisome pestilence.
From what?
And from the noisome pestilence.
You know what's the noisome pestilence? The missile.
The what? Missiles. They miss us?
Missiles. You don't know Russia sending missiles to America?
Recently.
And it still ain't gonna be World War. Cause a bunch of white people fighting, that's not World War. Let me just tell the world that. So all that World War I and World War II never happened. When people tell about World War I happened, one war and then the other war, World War II, that's not World War. A bunch of white people fighting is not World War. These bunch of white devils can't evolve the world around themselves. When black killing black people, what they say? With thugs, with this, with that, right? So they help a bunch of white people killing each other and it's World War. Never happened. So guess what? The Bible tells about 3 wars. None of them happened yet.
Good.
So all those 3 wars coming. Read on.
Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
Read.
He shall cover thee with His feathers.
So the Most High going to send an angel to cover us with His feathers. Get Revelation 18, verse 4. And after this, you come in.
Right. We're at the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4.
Read on.
And I heard another voice from heaven saying,
Listen.
Come out of her, my people.
So that's what the voice the Most High putting on the earth. Separate yourself from this man. These white people, separate from it. Can you see the measles outbreak in Brooklyn now? They don't even make the paper. These Jewish people be giving black people measles. Because the white man sleep with dog, rat, puss, everything. They kiss the dog in the mouth. They do all these impeccable things. So now the Most High put curses on them, they full with measles. Read on.
All right. Come out of her, my people,
Read.
that ye be not partakers of her sin.
So the Most High said, don't be partakers of her sin. Set apart. Come out of the system. Read on.
And that ye receive not of her plague.
So the Most High saying don't want us to receive of His plague. Read 21.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 21.
Read on.
And a mighty angel took up
A what?
And a mighty angel.
So this is the destruction of America.
Khan.
Read on.
Took up a stone like a
Read
great...
from the top.
And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone.
So the mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone. Read on.
And cast it into the seas.
Cast it into the sea. Read.
Saying, those with violence.
Read.
Shall the great city Babylon be thrown down.
So that's America destruction. God sending missile here. So if y'all ain't on the God's side, what you gonna do? You ain't gonna make it. So that's why it's very important to come out outside. You want to get Christ. Right? So next brother going to speak to you. So just listen him a couple of minutes before you leave, right?